All right, Lowe's 1626 customer Hauser. We are updating a home with a new kitchen area that had never actually had cabinets along one wall. All that was in the house when it was purchased was just this section of cabinets around the window area. So we're going to kind of redo the whole area, as well as we're going to repurpose and replace some of the pieces. First thing I want to talk about is this pantry here. This is a built-in or lean-in pantry. Customers talk about removing that pantry, taking the walls out, fixing the sheetrock straight out, just to one corner and that space there. Now it's 29.5 inches to the back of this trim from that back wall inside the pantry. What he's wanting to do is actually put a cabinet up here with an end panel down the side, so that the freezer back here, that freezer measures 30 inches wide and takes 25 inches front to back to sit in place against the back wall. He's wanting to put that freezer in this bottom section and put maybe some bifold doors or something over it to hide it. So he's going to actually take that cabinet and build it 27 inches deep. The end panel will be 27 inches deep, and we need about a 36-inch finished space in here between these two. Bifold doors only come in 36, 42, and 48-inch widths. So when we start looking at spacing, it's real critical that we have a 36-inch space here for him to work with, so that he can actually have that room for that door to work correctly in that hole opening. Now, that freezer will actually be inside of a 72-inch space. So if you take a look, I made a spot right there. That means your upper cabinet, I put the measurement on the drawing, the upper cabinet will leave a 72-inch space. That's the shortest he's going to be able to get bifold doors as far as height. They usually come like 78 to 81 inches tall. So to build this in for the freezer to fit in there and to have that full access of that bifold is going to have to be at least a 72-inch by 36-inch space. Now, you turn the corner and go over here. We put the refrigerator against that wall, and we are going to use this refrigerator against that wall. That means the left-hand door of this refrigerator is going to open against that left-hand side. That means that this has to be a minimum of 39 inches in here for this refrigerator to work correctly. Now, because you have in your drawing a left-hand end panel and a right-hand end panel, we don't need the left-hand end panel. That is a left-hand wall, so we can cleat to that wall with 2x4s and create a bigger opening. Lets the air flow around the refrigerator a little bit better. So we need a 39-inch minimum space there. Then you had a 12-inch cabinet. You had a 30 cabinet here for a microwave. They're getting rid of the hood, so they're going to go with a microwave. Take a look at the height of that. It has to be a little bit bigger than what you had before. The actual microwave is going to be a little bit taller. It's a 16.5-inch tall microwave. You're 4 inches off the bottom of the cabinets. Now, all of these cabinets on this wall, for some reason, the drawing showed 57 inches off the floor, which is 3 inches higher than normal. So 54 inches, your top alignment on your cabinets needs to be 90 inches. So that's this ceiling height in here from the floor, the tile floor that's staying, up to the ceiling is right at 95.5 inches. So when you go this, we're going to put a top alignment of 90, but our refrigerator end panels need to be 96. That one needs to be 96. This one needs to be 96. That way we don't have to do a piece of material on top as a return. But secondly, when we start coming across here, 30, 12, there's going to be about 1.5 inches left against the end of this. And this is where we're going to transition into having the cabinets above as a bridge cabinet system, okay? Peninsula wall cabinets, 12 inches to depth, would line up right on the point of that cabinet wall, right on the outside point of that wall. And that won't work. We're going to have these cabinets increase depth to 15 inches, 3 inches past that wall, but 12 inches even with these cabinets on this wall. So that gives you 3 inches past that wall into the other room for us to secure to the corner of this. And then also a bridge across here, we're going to have to put 2x4s. Their item number is 6005. I need 3 2x4 by 8s to use for blocking up here to create a frame to hang that cabinet from, so that the cabinet box will have something to secure it. Now inside of this, we're going to have a molding. So that's a 5.5 inch or so tall filler, a tall riser filler, and we're going to have a CM8 or standard molding, 3-inch molding that goes across the top and finishes up to the ceiling. Now this is a stomped ceiling. It's a patterned, but it is not popcorn. So it doesn't have a heavy texture to it. It is pretty easy to put the molding up against this type of a ceiling pattern. Now that being said, down here on the bottom, we're going to go here to the side of the stove. In the refrigerator, we're going to have a 12-inch base, 30-inch stove. This was a 12 in the original. We're going to make this into a 30. Okay, and the reason we did that is we moved our base waste paper can here at 21, and then that's going to be a 3-drawer base with a filler against the wall against the right hand side. Again, this works out to be 1 inch longer than you actually had in your layout. And that 1 inch is on this side of the room. The spacing that you had from there to the corner is about the same amount that you had in your original drawing. So we might be able to put a 36 here with a 1 inch filler against the wall, work it out in computer and see how that works out. Now your ledge is 4.5 inches wide, and it has a 12-inch overhang to the back, and the customer's going to use this table top as the actual ledge bar. So no materials or anything for it, but all of these cabinets in here are going to sit at the same line that this tile is. When they installed the tile, they measured out 20.5 inches. They put the tile in here. So when we go to put our cabinet in, there's possibly going to be a little pad out, about 3/4 of an inch of pad out that we have to do to get to this. So for sure, make sure that we have quarter round molding in this design. We have to have quarter round molding. Again, to say the least, we're going to need at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Need at least 6 pieces of scribe molding. 8 pieces of scribe molding to be able to do this kitchen correctly as far as the amount of covers on either ends. Now on this upper cabinet, because they're wanting to put glass on these cabinets, they're going to want the bottom of that cabinet matching interior. Then they're going to also want to, interior match interior. They're also going to want the bottom of the cabinet finished with a under cabinet panel, a UCP. That usually comes with a finished trim on 2 sides, something like that. But we got to do something because this is going to be up in the air. And I think 21 inches, 24 from the ceiling is where that's going to actually end up being at. Now, let's turn over here and take a look at this wall. We did not have a dishwasher before, so they've been doing dishes by hand here. They're going to put the dishwasher to the left-hand side. That will leave a 6-inch cabinet to the left, which is going to be like a base 6. That will have like your pizza pans, cookie sheets, things like that in the left. That can go up against the wall because it doesn't have a functional part to the front of the door. Maybe a 1/4-inch filler, 1/2-inch filler against that wall just to make sure there's no operational issues with the door opening and closing. Upper cabinet here, right now, we got about a 2-inch margin and it's 30 inches wide. So we want to keep that. Flushed ends there, flushed ends on both sides. And then again, 36, about 6 inches from the ceiling with a 5.5-inch riser and a CM8 as the top molding. All of these are hung right now at 54 inches high. So that is the correct height to hang the cabinets. Now, sink base 36, that's a standard. Then the next one is going to be a drawer base 30. They want 3 drawers here and a drawer base 30. That eliminates the end panel and the dishwasher to the right of the sink and gives them a much better use of this. In the original, because of it being the sink base, the panel, the dishwasher, the base waste paper can, there were going to be no drawers on this wall. There were going to be no drawer space. So this makes it back to where they had drawer space before, and we're going to replace it with drawer space now. So we have a better function as far as the use of the kitchen. Over here on the right-hand side, about a 2-inch margin again. This is a 30-inch cabinet as well, 30 by 36. And as you can see right here, we've got about a 4-inch margin or so to the door. Now, something I want to point out, if you take a look at my tape measure here, the edge of that is about 6 inches. The edge of that light switch is about 6 inches away. This is about 1.5 inches away from the door trim, okay? If we were to do a tile backsplash here after we're done, that tile is literally going to come straight down the center of this box. So if we know for sure the customer is going to want a tile backsplash, then these cabinets either have to go back 3 inches from where they're at. There would be a 27 above and a 27 below, or they have to come further, which means you're going to have your countertop edge right up against your door trim. They'll have to come 3 inches further, which would make this a 33, and this down here would be a 33. Right now, it goes right through the center of those switches. So we got to make a choice with the customer about what they want to do about backsplashes. We don't want to come to the other end of this project, and we do the same thing they did here and center our cabinet on that switch. The cabinets are going to be demoed by the customer, so they're going to be tearing their own stuff out, so no problem. But I told him this is CPVC plumbing that's under here. That stuff is very fragile and brittle after 15 or 20 years, so he needs to turn the water off to the house. He needs to consider going under the house and cutting that CPVC off and putting adapters for PEX on it and running PEX pipes back up into this, because you're against an outer wall with your actual plumbing. So CPVC, again, is a poor choice now as far as remodeling. There's a lot of problems with it being brittle. There's a lot of problems with original valves holding pressure. So we don't want to just turn the water off and tear everything out and assume everything's going to be good. You want to turn the pressure off of the valves, replace them with new valves, or cut the pipes off and put caps on them. All right, if you have any questions about this one, I do have a sink here. It's a 33 by 22 drop-in sink, and the customer is going to use that, definitely use that for their kitchen sink. So no problems there. If you have any questions about this, please give me a call at 423-650-1051. Have a good day.